Welcome. This is the Sons of Shenron. We are now live. This is Professor X.
What's going on, everybody? It's AJ over here.
And honestly, we're gonna go back and forth here, as far as both shows and what we've been seeing the past few weeks and how everything's been developing on the main card and everything. Some NXT. But we are going to be bouncing around. It's not going to be in complete order. And we might just go into different tangents depending on what actually is, itching our balls at the time. So at this moment, though, just because it's fresh, it's going to be, Raw from yesterday and SmackDown for today. And then we'll touch on some different points regarding that. But just kind of kicking it off there, it's just that with Raw yesterday, honestly, I felt that the show was decent. It was fine. It was just another show kind of feeling. I didn't feel any razzle dazzle, splish splash or anything like that. It was just another show. You filled your time slots and you kind of move on to the next town. It didn't seem anything as great of an importance to me. So I don't know how you felt about it or anything like that. But, I mean, key takeaways, big takeaways, obviously Seth Rollins doing his thing. Cut a badass promo with the help of the audience, against Paul Heyman. But I didn't enjoy the opening segment with Ronda and Charlotte and Becky. I thought that whole beat the clock thing was pretty weak. And not to mention that they're going to do – the Riot Squad's going to do another job come next week for them, all over again. So I don't like it. I mean, you can get jobbers for that, from the damn local city or something, man. You don't have to put these people on there.
I don't know, man. Honestly, the show, man. I think we're in opposite standpoints on that one, though, brother. For sure. I honestly take away the women's segment, like the women's part of the match where they were doing the whole beat the clock match and the Ronda Rousey thing and Becky Lynch, all that stuff. I think that it was a pretty decent show for me. I like that they still keep Drew in the trying to kind of build Drew and Roman up to try and kind of get him up there, and then you still got a little story for Dean Ambrose, even though Dean Ambrose is already out the door. Possibly, maybe not. But as far as and I know we're probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, man. But it's just this women's stuff, man. I mean, I'm all for the whole women's evolution and everything like that. That's great. I just think that the angle that they're going with having Becky kind of go in there and they're just really just putting it all on this match, and they're really just fueling it up. And really, to me, it's just not really catching my attention anymore. Honestly, if it was just Charlotte and Ronda, I'd be cool with that. Because everyone knows that they're expecting a great show out of that. But with what's going on right now with this whole, they got the beat the clock thing, and honestly, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, this whole beat the clock thing, which I'm sure you saw, you have Ronda Rousey doing the time at 1 minute and 25. Charlotte goes ahead. She couldn't beat that time. That's understandable because she went against the leader of the Riot Squad. Then you have Becky Lynch getting beat for the majority of the time, and then just getting a lucky win at the end, just a simple little pin, and she just lucked out and got it quick, and then apparently she's a badass because she did that. You know what I mean? But
yeah, because she just did something against some mid-card talent.
Yeah. I mean, if she went Liv Morgan, she's not even she's she ain't even all that. If she beat Ruby Riott, and then I probably would have, I would have said something a little different. And then going after that, the segment with Roman and Drew McIntyre, actually, it was pretty good to see that. A little bit of honestly, I didn't think. Roman's not going to say no. Roman has to have a match also, like you said, right? Roman has to have some kind of match, and Drew McIntyre needs a slot at WrestleMania 2, so why not give these guys a match?
My only issue with it is that Drew McIntyre, I don't know how you're going to exit WrestleMania without Drew McIntyre looking not a fool, but it feels like he's going to do the job for Roman because this is going to be the first singles, match for Roman.
Yeah.
And you don't as much as you've been doing with Drew McIntyre and building him up, you don't have him do jobs. It's not, you don't, and by jobs, I don't mean, what I mean is that you don't have him doing, taking the loss against Roman.
Yeah.
I get it. You you need Roman to look strong, though, right? He is his first singles match back. Make him look strong. Why not make him look strong against somebody like that? Well, you know what? Him and Braun Strowman had a lot of good stuff, a lot of good matches, dude. Roman did a lot for Braun. Braun did a lot of good things for Roman as well. I would have just rather you put those two together, do something at WrestleMania, those two cats. Put Drew McIntyre. Honestly, I don't think you need Drew McIntyre on the card because this dude is going to be top guy, or he is currently one of the top guys, but he's going to be the guy who's going to be the face of the company years down the road, which, okay, we're talking future tense, but he doesn't need to do this early on. It's just not my – I just don't see the value of him doing this thing with Roman because what's going to happen after that? Are they going to continue the feud? Is he going to go all the way down to SummerSlam? Is he losing? And then what? You know, then he's going to say, oh, I beat everybody else, but I couldn't beat Roman, you know? Oh, I just, you know, if it wasn't for this or something like that, I don't know what promos they would cut after it, whatever, but it's just not my flavor because I don't want a stain on Drew McIntyre's resume here because that dude's a beast.
And I think that's what you're looking at the most. Like, I think that you just really see that you don't want to mess the record, like how they're building Drew McIntyre, and it's kind of like how the match kind of plays out is going to determine where he's going to go down the road afterwards. And you don't want to kind of stain that. You want to kind of keep that image alive and keep him as the top guy at some point, right?
Right.
Yeah, I get you. Okay. Well, I mean, that's still like I guess it's a good segment to have right now, and I guess just seeing what's gonna happen. I mean, I guess I was cool with it. But, I mean, I see your point of view though. Yours made a lot of sense.
I'm just thinking about it future tense, you know, because this is kind of rushed. This is kind of rushed for Roman and Drew. Now, if this has been building up since Royal Rumble, then okay, because you're doing a lot of story leading up to it, you know. But I feel like this is kind of rushed. The storyline isn't necessarily built enough for me to care about it too much. So I don't want it. I don't mind if Drew loses, but I don't want him to lose so soon and just doing a job just for the sake of doing the job because it's Roman, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just my take on it. So, I mean, yeah, it was a good promo. In all reality, Roman went out there, he said a few words, and then they started going at it. But that entire promo of what Drew was saying, dude, you can just feel it. He was intense. No, it was a solid promo. He was intense, and it was like Samoa Joe-esque, like as far as how intense you feel coming through the screen, you know.
Yeah.
So that
I like how you called out Joe.
Yeah, how he called out Joe. So I mean, that for me, that's what I like. But you know, going beyond that, I mean, I just don't see. Besides, okay, now you put that one away, put that one to bed. Bobby Lashley, you know, Finn Balor. I don't know if there was any plans. I heard some different plans happening for Finn Balor. I guess those fell through. Talking about WrestleMania, you know, what's a WrestleMania match? In 10 years, are you going to be talking about Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor? I don't think so, you know.
A lot of the cards they're picking though probably aren't going to be like that. They're not going to be. I think they're thinking more of like the now. Like, I mean, they say it's even unheard of to make them. Like, they're still making matches right now, like you mentioned earlier. They're still making these matches, and that's usually not the style. They usually have the matches already lined up, and a lot of the matches are kind of just like in a rush, and maybe it's not even thought out to the future.
I just don't. I understand about the nostalgia matches and what you want to put together for those, like your Triple H and Batista. That's one of those nostalgia matches that we didn't get a chance to see before, so you put it together now. That's like those one-off type of matches, and those are fine because those you can marquee. Those are top guys that you can sell tickets to, right? You're selling. You know, you put in assets to seats for stuff like that. But there is going to be a lot of matches on here that are just not going to be. You want every match on the WrestleMania card to want to be a show stealer. Now, not every single one of them will be. You know, for all we know, the damn main event may be trash. Who knows? You know, we don't know. But
the women's match?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying as an example. You can put whoever it is. You want every match on paper to at least look like it will be. Wow, that might steal the show. That might steal the show, and you go on through the list. So, in this aspect of Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley, now I like them both. To be honest with you, I really do like them both. Finn Balor, the Demon, doesn't matter, but you know, and Bobby Lashley. I liked both of these guys, but I feel like this is just another, you're beating a dead horse on this one. It kind of felt the same way that you were doing with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Now, those guys had a long program for a while, man, to the point where, like, God damn, like, let's move on from this already,
You talking about the recent time?
The most recent one when they were going back and forth with the IC title.
Oh man,
for a while, man. Towards the end of that whole thing, towards the end of that whole run, at least for me, I felt that I knew what sequence they were going into, what next move it was going to happen. I can understand what they're trying to do. It didn't seem. It felt like going through the motions rather than putting on a show. And it's like, yes, they bring out the best in each other. They're smooth, they're fluid in the ring with each other because they're comfortable with each other. But they didn't bring anything new to the table every single time they went through there.
I think a lot of it has to do with development and writing, though. I mean, what are they?
Oh, are they taking the bumps for them in the room too? In the ring?
Nah, man, but I mean, like, how they're portraying. Like, honestly, I think that the story that they were kind of putting out at first, it was good, and I thought that they were like, it seemed like it was starting to become something good, but then I think they just played it out and they just kind of just buried it and just went about it the wrong way, and it could have been a lot better. I mean, they might know each other and maybe the movies might have been stale, but I think the storytelling that they could have done could have been a lot better, which could have kind of picked up a little bit of that slack, possibly. But yeah, no, I see your point of view. What do you think about Kurt Angle's matches that he's been having recently? Because he's been having some crazy matches from like a rematch, like a TNA rematch, and like matches from like dream matches.
Well, the TNA one that you're referring to is just the one that he just had with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, exactly, the one on Raw.
I mean, yeah, Kurt Angle obviously one of the best to ever do it, and if anybody doesn't already realize or not, this is actually my brother here, and he's seen me going through my own fucking puberty and stupid ass stage. But Kurt Angle, as you can remember, that I used to watch this cat. I'm turning 30 or whatever. This dude was back in 90, 98, whatever it was. Like, Jesus Christ, that's over 20 years ago, right? So whatever. So it's like, I've seen this guy since my teenagers years, and I wanted to be Kurt Angle. I want to see this guy. So this guy is an unbelievable guy, but he is definitely over the hill. He can go maybe 5-10 minutes in the ring. You can see that he's worn out already.
Yeah, the movements are a little slower, actually.
Yeah, and it's just like I'd rather you not do so many matches and leave them as dream matches. As I wish they would have worked together.
Yeah.
Because you're when you finally actually do the match, you kind of take away from what you expected. Because not everybody's going to be able to do it. Because when you say you want to see Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles, well, you're thinking about the Shawn Michaels of 1996. Shawn Michaels. You're not thinking about the Shawn Michaels that we just saw at the Greatest Royal Rumble. I'm sorry, at the Crown Jewel. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are two different Shawn Michaels, and you wouldn't want the Shawn Michaels from Crown Jewel, going against AJ Styles of today. You'd want the old Shawn Michaels. So although it's good that we get to see it, I don't think that we're not getting the top Kurt Angle that we are accustomed to seeing or want to see. So I'd rather you leave them. Yeah, like, I'd rather you leave it as dream matches, as what could have been. Type of deal, because we've already seen it on a different stage, obviously with TNA, like you were saying. So we have seen it before, and you can go through the archives and find that those guys had some brutal matches, dude, and those fuckers over there do some stupid moves too, man.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different story. But I mean, going back to your original question again, I'm sorry going on a tangent here, but I don't mind that Kurt Angle's doing that. I get it, because he's already out the door. He's gonna be retiring, so he's just trying to get as many matches as he can with who he wants to work with. He has great respect for Joe. That's why he did the match yesterday with Joe, and he did the match today with AJ, or if you want to call that a match with AJ today. But he did that to at least get ring time, or at least get the show, be on the show with the guy that he wanted to be in there with.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't mind that he's doing this. I just don't see. I'd rather you not You know,
Mhm.
as much as I love and appreciate Kurt Angle, I'd rather you not, because all you're doing is just hurting your own legacy, because you're not living up to your full
Potential.
image of yeah, well, not potential, because he's lived throughout his potential. We've
Yeah.
seen the top of his potential, so he's already passed and surpassed that potential. What I'm saying is just now, it's not the Kurt Angle of old that you want to tarnish. You know.
Yeah, honestly, in that perspective, I can see your point of view. I think, and I look at it completely different, man. Like, honestly, I think that, like, yeah, I see that it could be better matches, and you don't want to kind of ruin the image of, hey, this could have been a better match. This could have been this guy, and this guy at his peak could have been, it could have been a very different outcome. What could have been, but at the same time, I think that Kurt Angle wants an exit to where it's not going to be like an Undertaker exit. I think that when he does these last matches, he's not planning on coming back. It's not going to be like, oh, well, let's have one match here, one match there. Like, you see Triple H still having matches. You see Undertaker coming back off for all these matches all the time. People
Well,
that are supposed to be retired.
Triple H still has like 10 more years
Well,
in the tank.
yeah, I get it. I don't know but my point that I'm trying to come across is that Kurt Angle wants to kind of go out the door with everything kind of accomplished. Although it might not be the best matches, blockbuster matches, him getting in his older age, he still wants to at least kind of like put those to bed and not really have it to where, hey, he did everything he could. I mean, he's done a lot more already in all these years. So it's kind of like, why not go out that way?
Oh,
So
that doesn't make sense. You just did the same. You contradicted what you just said just a second ago.
which part?
Why do the matches and then do the matches? We've already
like what?
and now
I'm
if
saying your point
if you live, what is it? If you live, sleep, and breathe WWE, then you don't even realize of what Kurt Angle has done outside of WWE with the other promotions. He's already worked Samoa Joe. He's already worked AJ Styles. He's already worked Cody. Yeah. He's worked everybody, dude. And maybe it wasn't on WWE, but so I don't see the point of him doing this job, doing with Joe yesterday. And today we saw Kurt Angle going against AJ Styles for 2 fucking minutes. They had an exchange of locks between an ankle lock and a calf crusher. And for what? For what was the point of that? There was a waste of time. For what? Just to see him in the same ring with AJ Styles? Well, I can see him in the ring right now. I can go onto YouTube and find those fuckers in the ring and really go at it, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think I was talking more with like WWE, because there's a lot of people who didn't see like TNA or other wrestling shows that it's mainly just WWE. I think I was just looking at it at more of a WWE perspective. Like, the people that are there probably haven't seen these kind of matches. But yeah, I guess I see where I was kind of like, I was contradicting it because they've already had it, but I was kind of more towards the WWE side where they never really had a match. They just had history out of the WWE.
Again, they're just trying to run through the list and just at least get them in the ring on TV, But I don't see any value of it. But that's just my opinion,
Yeah. How do you feel about the Dean Ambrose though? You think Dean Ambrose, like, I mean, you've always like thought his wrestling was kind of like a little choppy, right? But it's like his I think lately, like, how he's been doing his segments behind the scenes, has been like, oh, how he set up for that last man standing match with Drew McIntyre for the end of the to close out the show. I honestly thought that was actually, like, I think well thought out. Like, hey, that's good. I didn't expect him to do that kind of match at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
To be quite honest with you, man, when it comes to Dean Ambrose, his promos, his deliveries, those are always been really good. It's very believable. But as everybody knows, he's out the door, he's doing jobs. Is it surprising? It's not surprising that he said it, I guess, or that he put the stipulation type of match out there. He's been going out there trying to ask for the same damn match, anyways. For the same return,
Mm-hmm.
He puts the match out there and gets the same return, and it's been like that for the few weeks now. So I don't particularly care. I like the fact that he's still on TV because he's a really good hand. But at the same time, I don't even think you need to have him keep doing these fucking jobs though either. I think that especially now, unless he's cool with it, and if he's like, yeah, that's fine, you can I'll lose to everybody, whatever, make them look good, whatever, and that's fine. If he's cool with it, then hey, who the fuck are we? But if they're just telling him, hey, Dean, we really need you to go to do this, you know, and you know, because you know you're leaving, you know, we really want you to help to get this guy shined up, you know, whatever it is, and you don't. I don't think you need that because shit. If Dean Ambrose decides to come back in 5 fucking years, you know, do you think this is gonna go away? You know, like I wins and losses in WWE don't matter, but they don't go away either, and people will remember that shit. So I don't know. I'll remember it. Now me, I'm maybe I'm the exception, but I'll remember that. You know, I don't particularly care. I'd rather him stop losing. I'd rather him just already get away and have him do maybe some house shows here and there off TV because you want to have him look good if he ever does come back. So
yeah. Well, one last thing I want to bring up before actually, because I want to jump into SmackDown, but one last thing I am going to say, this whole tag team thing that they're having for the championship with the Revival, like, you know, I don't know if they actually have made it official yet. I'm not sure yet, but there's talk of having Ricochet and Aleister Black against the Revival for the tag team titles. And
right.
Honestly, man, I think we already talked about this before. It's like, yeah, they're good. They're good wrestlers, man. I think they're great, but it's like to put them in the tag team is really kind of, I feel like it's going to hurt them more than help them in the long run.
So I'll go out there and say it myself, though. So, like, and we've talked about it off air is what you're referring to. Aleister Black and Ricochet, they're real. Everybody knows they're really good guys. They're really good workers. They do all this flip shit and everything like that. Okay, it's not the type of wrestling that I enjoy because I can tell when they're going for a spot. I can tell that all they're doing is going spot to spot to spot, and they're not selling the moves from the Revival, whoever it is that they're working, because all they're worried about is getting the next high spot in. Okay, they keep doing the same stupid backflips or whatever the fuck they're doing. They do the same damn thing every single day, every single show, and that makes it lose meaning. I don't like it. So putting them together, it's going to hurt them because you're going to keep seeing the same shit again. You can't keep doing the same moves and expect it just
to get a pop every time.
Yeah, I mean, like, you save those type of little jumps, okay? Yeah. Because as soon as everybody comes outside the ring, oh, here we go. Here's Ricochet. He's gonna get up there. We already know. Let me just see it. Let's get a commercial break now. You know, like it happens every fucking time. He makes a high spot, go to commercial break. That's bullshit, dude.
That's
you
true.
know,
you're right. They do.
I don't like that shit.
Do that. And you said it before off air. They need to save those moves for later because it does run stale. You're absolutely right. Like
those are badass moves. Those are badass moves that you do not need to be doing every single fucking time you go out there. So
like Samoa Joe's big dive.
You mean that like the
dive that he does in the second rope? He just dives out there.
Right. So it doesn't, you save those type of moves for those heavy hits that you're really trying to grind somebody down. He doesn't, it's that suicide kind of dive that he's doing, but it's like he kind of throws his whole shoulder into you. Now that fucking thing, that's a goddamn missile coming at you, dude. That dude puts all of his weight in that motherfucker, but he doesn't do it every single time, like what I'm saying. So you save them. But I think that if people can tell what your next sequence is, what your next move is, and what we already have seen you doing, that's a problem because we already know and we already expect it, so we're already bored. Now we're not entertained. You know what I'm saying? At first, it was cool. However many, what was it, a month, 4 weeks ago now, or whatever it is, like when they first came out, right? It was a big ass pop. It was a big ass buzz. I was ecstatic to seeing those cats. Okay. But, after so many weeks, well, shit, I'm still seeing these cats doing the same fucking shit. I don't like that.
It's not drawing you anymore.
Yeah. I mean, my type of wrestling, the wrestling that I enjoy is more of a hard-hitting wrestling. I want you to smack the shit out the son of a bitch. I want you to kick the fuck out of him. I want you to lay your shit in. I want you to work stiff. That's what I like because I want you to sell it.
That's funny.
I want you to sell that shit. Stay on the floor. That's what I care about,
Yeah.
And these guys, and I'm not saying they do it all the time, but what I'm saying though is just that right now on Raw, them working the Revival, they're not selling enough for me to be invested in what they're doing. So it devalues them. I don't like it, and it's going to hurt them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Putting them together, I don't think it's a big deal. You can, but reel it back, you know?
Yeah, like I mentioned, they can be better separate.
Or separate them. Fuck it. Separate those two. Let them do their own thing and see what they can do on their own.
I feel like they can. I think they're just playing. I think that their direction they're doing it safe. Like let's play it safe. Let's be together, and you know, blah blah blah. You know, and I just don't really think that that's gonna, like, you know, to your point, it could hurt. You know, and you know, with the spots that they're doing, and I mean, it'll run stale at some point. Maybe not sometime soon, but yeah. So jumping over to SmackDown now. We have they have how they start with the New Day coming in, and I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I did enjoy SmackDown, man. I did. I was actually entertained for the majority of the show. Even I have to ask you this real quick because I was gonna ask you earlier before we even recorded. Did you see the commercial that they had? Their Gloria the Glorious with Bobby Roode.
Yeah, the Snickers commercial.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, it was a good one.
That was stupid. Anyway, okay. So I like how the New Day was kind of there. You know, they're trying to make their exit. They're trying to leave. You know, and then they ended up doing that tag team gauntlet match. Now, to me, I thought that was a creative idea in a sense that, hey, you know what? That's never been done before. That's like, okay, you know, that's a different way to portray it. You know, kind of like, let's have the New Day fight for Kofi Kingston's chance to win the title. You know.
So I don't. Let me go off on a little rant here, okay? So over the past few weeks, we always see Big E. We've been seeing Big E and Xavier Woods on the mic cutting the promos for Kofi.
Yeah, yeah.
Then what is Kofi doing out in the ring for?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, his face looks like he looks so sad.
Why is he even out there? He hasn't said a goddamn word.
It's because I don't think he cut promos like they can.
Then don't be there. Put a fucking picture of him up on the fucking Titantron and let it be done. You don't need him there. I think that what you're doing is making him look like a fool by just leaving him there, not saying a fucking word. I don't care if you can't cut your own promos. I've heard him cut his own promos. He can cut his own fucking promos. He's cutting in a Jamaican accent, bro. He can cut his own promos, okay? It's not slipped up. Well, that's why he's now Kofi Kingston is regular now. But
what happened to your Jamaican accent?
So anyway, I just don't understand why he's out there doing that and why these two cats are doing his promo for him. Okay, now Xavier Woods, he's better on the mic than those other two guys are. That's everybody knows that. But is he the mouthpiece for the team? Is he the mouthpiece for Kofi? Why is Kofi out there? What are you doing here? Okay, have Kofi run his own thing. And I tell you, to be quite honest with you as well, it's in my opinion, it's just like Kofi. I think Kofi would be better off without those two. I wish that Vince McMahon would have been like, hey, look, Kofi, I think you're a B-plus player, right? Because you're with these two guys. Let me make you an offer here. You drop these two guys, you're in the main event. Make your choice and be done with it. Okay? After the gauntlet match and everything that happened. You know, like after last week, after the gauntlet match, which was badass. That whole thing was badass, but earlier in the night, we saw this whole Kofi Kingston, same thing, where he wasn't saying shit, okay? And it devalues him, I think, because it just makes you look like a fool. But today, what I would have preferred would have been Vince McMahon going out there saying the same thing, just like I said. You're a B-plus player, Kofi, but I'll make it a deal here. You drop these two guys. These two guys want to walk. They want to quit. You're a company man. You want to stay here. Drop these two guys. You will go to WrestleMania. And what do you think is going to happen? He'll go to WrestleMania. And I think the New Day already, it's over and done with, dude. I think it's over and done with. Vince McMahon said it perfectly just a few weeks ago, too. Kofi Kingston, you will go into the Hall of Fame, no doubt about it, but you're going to go into the Hall of Fame as New Day. You're not going to go to the Hall of Fame as Kofi Kingston. That makes a difference. As a team. That makes a difference, okay? Just like we're seeing Booker T going in as the Harlem Heat, and he went in as Booker T also, so now he's a two-time. Ric Flair, same thing. Bret Hart's going in again as well, you know, with the Hart Foundation. He's going in again. So you're going in as a team. Okay, but what about Kofi? What is Kofi going to do? You know what I'm saying? So I think that Kofi will make it to the next level and advance more. I don't care that you're always having fun with New Day. It's not always about having fun. It's about getting to the top, right? That should be the goal and the dream, is to make it to the top, not just to be at WWE and not just to be with two clowns of New Day. You know, it doesn't matter. And yeah, maybe Xavier Woods can help you with a sex taper here and there, or whatever, right? Get you to the right connections. But you know, that's all well and good, dude. But what about getting to the top? You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know, you don't see no fucking Stone Cold ever come out there and, you know, oh, I'm so glad to be here in WWE. Oh, I tell you what, Jesus Christ. You know, being in WWE is a dream come true. You know, like, no, he never went out there and said some shit like that. He went out there and did it. Same thing with Rock. Same thing. Shit. I mean, the list will go on and on. But what I'm saying is just that Kofi going out there, not saying anything, letting these guys talk for him, it's making him look like a fool and makes him look weaker. As much as we all love Kofi, and he deserves this match and he deserves this title, because, I mean, hey, you know what? New Day won later in the evening, right? So they won the gauntlet match. Kofi's going to go to WrestleMania. I hope he wins.
Hell of a match, too, man. That'll be hell of a gauntlet match for sure.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, I thought the Usos were going to fuck them up too, man. I seriously thought they were going to do it. Dude, but it was even better what they did. Yeah, it was even better. They forfeited the match. It was even better.
I had to rewind it because I was like, hold on, what are they saying? I'm thinking that they were gonna go at it, like, you know, like, oh man, these guys are going for Vince and whatever. Then they come and make that speech, and I'm like, oh dude, like, damn, like,
yeah,
dude, that was well played, well thought out, well executed. Like the support was real on that point, you know, especially with the Usos and how they cut their promos too.
Right. No, it all worked out. So I mean, it doesn't devalue the Usos. It makes them look good, respectable. Obviously, New Day makes them look good too. So
I think at
the end of the whole thing, it was fine. But I hope Kofi wins come WrestleMania, because I'm pretty sure Daniel will be okay with doing the job for Kofi. You know,
I think he wants to. I think he's happy to do it for him. Yeah.
Out of everybody that I've ever heard, past, present, you know, talent, you know, Edge, Christian, or whoever, pick whoever the fuck, you know, it doesn't matter. Everybody will say that Kofi is badass, and anybody who's willing to do the job for him, you know. So I don't see Daniel being any different. So I do hope Kofi will win, but at the same time, I don't see Kofi going or staying on top as New Day. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can only do so much in a faction, and eventually you have to do it on your own as well. And if you can't do it on your own, then good luck in the tag team division, being tag team champions, and that'll be your career, tag team. You know. Yeah.
I mean, like I mentioned, like maybe I told you maybe a couple weeks ago or something like that. Like the New Day, they're not planning on separating. Like they don't want to separate. They've said it plenty of times before, where they said, hey, we know we're gonna be a team, and we're not. The day they tell us to go ahead and separate as a team is the day we quit. Like that's just legitimate what they said. But I mean, obviously, this is before this whole title thing and how the changes and everything. I mean, it could change. Yeah, like you mentioned, it could change, and it could, you know, I mean, they all have their own things going on. But going with the what was I saying? Going with the match at the end of the night. Oh man, it was actually a really well like executed match. Like, how did you see? I'm gonna bring up one part real quick before I forget. Did you see how Daniel Bryan was in the back? He was pissed off, and he's over here throwing chairs. He kicks the TV, right? And then the other fucking idiot, he's like, I don't know what it was, but when he was doing it, he looked like he didn't know what to do. Like, he looked like an idiot trying to throw chairs. Like, he didn't know. Oh, he's throwing chairs. Let me throw a chair too. You know. Oh, let me flip this table. Oh, you know.
And the crowd shits all over him too every time he fucking talks. He's garbage. He also devalues Daniel. He's fucking stupid. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck he's out there for either, but.
I think it's funny, but anyway,
I guess he's supposed to be a big daddy Diesel to Shawn, the way Shawn was, or Diesel was to Shawn, you know, and that's what he's supposed to be to Daniel. But whatever.
He ain't intelligent for shit. I'll tell you that.
You know, his character at least. Yeah, I don't fucking know what the fuck the deal is, but
no, man, I liked how in the match they really like Big E was actually out. He was thrown through the table after the match with the Bar. like I thought that was the good ending right there. Now at that point, what's gonna happen? Oh man, like how are we gonna come out on this? It looked just like the same story with Kofi the week before, where he was also beaten, also thrown through the table. And how is he gonna get through this match? And that's kind of when the Usos came in. But the point of the story is like it's just the execution of how they were going through these matches was just it was really well. I really liked how they went against each of these teams and how they came out with the W on each of the matches. It was a lot more believable how they actually finished the matches. I'm not gonna lie, man. Last week with Kofi Kingston, I really didn't think he was gonna beat Randy. At that point when Randy came out, I'm like, man, there's just no way, man. There's just no way. It's a Viper, man.
It's Randy. It's Randy. No way.
How are you gonna beat this guy? You can't get lucky again, like but he did.
He got lucky against Samoa Joe, and he did that. What was it? A few weeks back, he did the same thing. Like got lucky against Samoa Joe too, which was crazy.
Yeah. Pretty strong tag teams too, like Shinsuke and Rusev, the Bar. Usos, good thing they didn't fight him either.
Rusev and Shinsuke are kind of weird together, and it looks like they're working on some moves, I guess. But they're still kind of weird, I think, but still strong. So I don't know what they're doing. I mean, they might end up being in the Andre the Giant Memorial, or whatever, more than likely.
Yeah. And that was one of the matches that really stood out. I mean, because it's one of the longest matches too. It was a very significant match that of the night. Then you have the segment. I'm not sure how you feel about the Miz and Shane. I mean, I'm really all for Miz. I've always told you before. I don't know what it is, man, but Miz just has that character that just kind of just draws you in, makes you want to actually watch what he does, even if his wrestling isn't A+. It's still something that kind of gives your attention.
I think I enjoy him. I enjoy him more as a heel. He's more entertaining as the heel. Right now as the face, he's fine. I like it. I'm more interested in seeing how far Shane is actually going to take it. Just because I just don't know how far he's going to go as far as how bad is he going to be. Obviously, we can expect him doing no false count anywhere. Maybe he's going to do a spot like he did against Steve Blackman way back in the day,
man.
Off the Titantron.
It's WrestleMania, man. It's WrestleMania.
Right.
At that point, who knows, man? With Shane, you could always expect something to happen, especially if it's a big pay-per-view like WrestleMania.
Yeah,
he's going to do something crazy, and I think we all expect that.
If you do a no false count anywhere, that means he can jump off of fucking anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I brought up the Steve Blackman. Because when he did the spot off the Titantron there, because if it's just there in the main, and obviously we don't need Shane to do this every fucking WrestleMania. Obviously he didn't do it last year or whatever, so it's like we don't need him to do this all the time. But I think we want it to happen against the Miz, seeing something crazy like that. So yeah, I mean it's a good match. I think that it'll be a really good match, and I'm just interested to see how far Shane takes it more than how good Miz is being a face. I think his best work is a heel, but that's
Yeah, I mean, I think right now he's killing it both ways. Like heel had his heel as a face. I think he's doing all right, but really, this is kind of like how is it going to go with Shane? And I feel like it's going to be. I guess we don't know what to expect. I think it would be great though. Honestly, I think that would be a great match to start the show. I mean, I'm talking about like that would be at the height. Like you started off because Miz, their wrestling's kind of not 100% there, but then doing a big jump off like that or doing a big leap, something crazy like that, just would set the bar for the rest of the matches of the night.
Mm-hmm.
But so
let me.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna bring up the other match though when you have Asuka versus Charlotte for the women's title.
That's the biggest one I wanted to talk about to close it out.
So starting the match, I mean, I popped just when they said it's going to be the women's title match. I'm like, oh snap! Like, what's going to happen here?
Which angle are they going to go?
Yeah, like I was like, well, what's the point of this one? If Charlotte loses, that devalues it. But if Charlotte wins, that means she's walking in. So even if she does lose at WrestleMania, she still has a title. She'll stay on SmackDown. I was like, what's going to happen here? What's the end game here, brother? So at the same time, I was like, okay, well, Charlotte. I'll admit to you right now, I popped way more than I popped for Charlotte winning. Oh man, dude, I was fucking screaming for it. I was like, holy shit! I was really actually very surprised that she won.
Yeah, me too.
And ecstatic that she did win.
Yeah.
I think bar none, Charlotte's the best woman in the game. And so
Agreed.
It's just she won again in a good fashion. It was a good match. She brought a lot out of Asuka. Asuka was decking her with some fucking licks, dude, to the face too, man. And
that was a good match, man.
And it was good. But when's the last time you seen Asuka do a match like that? Because she can't do a match like that with everybody. You know, some of these other women don't do that style or are willing. I don't know, but Charlotte, that she's a workhorse, dude. So if she was willing to do all those moves and tell Asuka to, hey, lay it in, I don't give a shit. You know, basically to me, that's what the fuck it looked like. And then she did that damn Spanish fly off the top rope. That's what I'm about to tell you right now. Holy Spanish shit. Fly, yeah. She did that Spanish fly. And honestly, I didn't think she was going to land it because Asuka was on a lower turnbuckle that I didn't think she was going to get the full rotation off of that.
Yeah, nailed it. It was a good one.
And she landed it. I popped for that too. I'm like, holy shit. Actually, I was like, at that point, I was like, holy shit. It does look like they're going to go all the way with this match and not somebody's going to run in, you know?
Yeah.
And so
honestly, man, that was a great, like, I mean, it was great. It was an action-packed match the entire time, man. I have no complaints about that match. Was like you said, man, they licking each other. It was a hit for hit. It was the moves, the spots, the angles, the submissions, the holds, the reversals. It was all there, man.
Yeah, no, that's my time. That was a good match. Really, really good match, dude. I mean, that's for SmackDown for the title. That was damn good. Damn good for a SmackDown event for a title match. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you could have done that on a pay-per-view and it would have been a badass. It's the same way. You know, it's just that you don't see too many badass matches like that for the title on SmackDown. You don't see that too often. So
especially on the fly like that.
On the fly and so close to WrestleMania, you know, but because Charlotte's already doing something in WrestleMania, right? So you got to do it here. But I'm interested to see if they're going to have Charlotte defend it early in the show and then have her wrestle again to close the show.
Well, I mean, that would be a possibility. I think the idea, honestly, man, I just want to mention this part about the match, man. I really honestly think that Becky, like, again, man, I like her character. I think the pop is too big for her, but, like, I would say if you put Asuka, because Asuka's style of wrestling with Charlotte's style of wrestling, throw her in there with Ronda as a triple threat match, I think that match would have a lot more action. And it wouldn't be as slow as it would be if it was with you know, including Becky in the match with the triple threat, because they are just, the other three are more athletic. You know, they can do a lot more, you know, moves. You know what I mean? I
mean, you and I are on opposite ends when it comes to Becky Lynch as far as what she can do. Now, I was in the spectrum that she's actually a really good worker, really good worker. She has all the moves, she has the look and everything. Now, up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I came to a point that I was like, okay, so Becky, are you good? Are you bad? Are you nothing? Are you? What do you? Who are you? I don't even know who you are. What merchandise are you selling? You know, I don't even know I don't even know what I'm buying here. You know, so I am now detached because you lost me. You lost me. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at you anymore. I don't know what you're trying to make me believe of you anymore. And I don't particularly know. I don't particularly understand what her deal is, because she comes out there, she runs her mouth, she does a stupid little smirk or something, and I'm like, okay, and like, make me believe it. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe you, man. And it's like I don't believe it anymore. Like, you know, a month ago, 2 months ago, yeah, man, like, dude, I would have gone up and down, and I, you know what? I would have licked the floor for Becky to walk to WrestleMania clean, brother. That's how much that I'm serious, dude. I'm telling you, dude. Like,
you're so stupid.
I'm being dead ass.
I get it, but dude,
now like, I want everybody to understand, like, that's how much I really like Becky. But in the past few weeks, I don't even know what she is, much less know what
boots.
You know, dude. She can give me her boots and they'd be black, right? When she first gives them to them, brother, they'll be fucking platinum by the time I'm done with them. Okay? I'm just telling you, dude. Like, I just don't understand. But like I said, now I just don't know what you're selling me. So I don't know what you're doing. Okay? Yeah. So I don't know what you're doing. Ronda's Ronda. She's if it wasn't for Ronda being that linchpin, though, as well, they wouldn't be closing the show the way they are, in my opinion. They wouldn't be closing the show without Ronda. But that's a whole nother topic for all another day. But Charlotte in the match, it's bullshit that anybody would say that she's not bringing shit to the table. Man, you can run through this bitch's resume, dude, and it's gonna smoke you. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Charlotte is bringing the fucking eyeballs. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you saw the kind of match she had. You're telling me, like, look, man, you told me before.
But
let me ask you a question.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like the match that Charlotte had against Asuka. You're telling me that that Becky Lynch can have the same results that Charlotte had on that match. First of all, I'm not talking about her winning the title. I'm talking about the results, as in the performance that was played on both of those.
The performance, right? You eliminate the entire crowd. Fuck the crowd. Put everybody away.
Yeah, performance-wise, crowd, the title. Don't worry about that. I'm talking about like
performance-wise.
Yeah.
No way. But that's right now. If you would have told me this 2 months ago, I would have said yes. She would have done it. Yes. But now, no, because I don't believe her moves. I don't believe what she's doing. I don't believe her in-ring work, and I don't believe her voice anymore. You know,
that's what I was saying about
because I just don't know what you're doing. I don't know who you are anymore. Yeah, to me, I just don't know who you are, and so
that's what I was saying about that beat the time match. The beat the time match, you can tell. Like same thing, like you said. I mean, what was she doing? She was getting hit the most of the time. She did just one move, like one.
Man, she took that big ass fucking boot of Charlotte to begin the fucking match. And then somehow she won, and that's a big boot from Charlotte, dude. I mean, I don't give a fuck who you are. That boot looks huge, bro.
That's funny. Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, I don't understand it either. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do here. Now, I think that if after Charlotte winning today, and we'll talk again, you know, as far as once we get the full card of WrestleMania, we'll talk again here. But
yeah, this week for sure.
I don't understand. Charlotte winning the women's title for SmackDown, great. That means that she does not need to win at WrestleMania, and because you can't, I don't see them unifying. But I don't see them unifying or anything like that. So she's not going to be going through back and forth through both brands. Ronda's gonna leave, right? Okay, and you put Becky on Raw. We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah. Honestly, I don't see it lasting that long.
I agree.
She's going to come out there. She's going to come out there and just letting the crowd do her shit for her, as opposed to her working the crowd. She's gonna let the crowd work her.
Yeah,
and that's now you're working out of your ass. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's my opinion. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Charlotte is the business, though. Okay, so I think that I wish. If Charlotte hadn't win tonight, none of this would have happened, I'd rather you have closed the show at WrestleMania with Charlotte winning the Raw title, the Raw Women's title, and that'd be the best move to go with, because that's story-wise, performance-wise, everything, that Charlotte is it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, again, 2 months ago, I would probably choose something different. I would have been okay with it, but now I'm not, so. You know.
All signs point to Becky winning the title. That's just kind of been the plan the whole time. But now, like, honestly, man, when I saw Charlotte win the title, in my mind, this is kind of like more like in my dream world, I'm thinking, man, like, wouldn't it be something if Charlotte won the SmackDown and the Raw at the same time? Kind of like the unification match with Chris Jericho winning back. I forgot what year it was, but when he won the Undisputed Championship. And he won both of the titles.
Against Stone Cold and Rock on the same freaking night.
Yeah, that when he beat them both, like it kind of makes me think of that. Like if Charlotte would actually have both of the titles, like that would be like, I mean, you know, it's not going to happen, but something like that happening would be unheard of, you know, for the women's division for a main event at WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if you could put money down right now for who would be the first one to ever do that, safe money is going to be on Charlotte doing that. So if they end up the dual brand becoming one brand again, you know, or the split brand, whatever, how the fuck you want to say it. If they ever went back to one brand and unifying everything, and everybody's holding two titles type of deal, definitely you put money on Charlotte, man. You put money on Charlotte today.
That's what I'm saying.
She would hold multiple. Mm-hmm.
And maybe they could, man. Who knows? I mean, they have the women's tag team champions right now, which is on all the brands. I mean, who's to say that they couldn't do that for the women's champion? I mean, that's just that, but that's all fantasy talk now. But I mean, I would like to see that. That's just something that I thought of in my head. But yeah, so that'll go ahead and close everything out. We kind of talked about a few things. I know we missed a bunch of things also already, but that's just for the next talk. So, you got anything else to say, bro?
No, man. Honestly, just like you were saying, man, it's just we're all over the place. We just wanted to kind of discuss it and see,
just spit it out.
Just spit it out and just see what's going out there. Honestly, it just feels better, getting it out there anyway. So we'll go again on the card, soon here once we get the full match card and figure out what's that. I mean, it looks like even next week they're still putting the matches together. So we'll figure it out from there, and then we'll go ahead and cut another one out.
Yeah, so I appreciate it, guys, and thanks for listening. And if you got any questions, you can just leave them down there. Maybe we answer them. But that's it. Signing off. Have a good night.